everyone and welcome back to my channel. I've got a little William here today eating his roller coaster ice lolly, and the reason why I'm doing this video is actually because I realised I'm about to give birth to this little boy's little sister, and I've never really spoken about his birth in that much detail because obviously I wasn't doing YouTube videos back then. So I thought I would talk about it because I'd like to document both, and it'd be nice to look back and see how they compare once she's actually arrived and I've recovered. So with William's birth, it all started on the 11th of June 2012, and he was actually due on the 30th of May 2012, but this little monkey was late. So I'd had 2 sweeps by that point and nothing had really worked for me. I hadn't really felt any contractions or anything like that, although after my second sweep I did start to feel quite uncomfortable and crampy. But as the days progressed, I actually started to lose my plug, and this was a couple of days before I actually went in to be induced. So I was induced on the Monday evening, and on the Saturday and Sunday my plug came away. And I have to say, I don't know about some people, but I had a lot of plug. The first time I went to the toilet and I noticed it, I was kind of horrified at what I saw. I think that happens to all of us when we've not had a baby before, when you actually see your mucus plug and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realise that my bits had a nose and that they could sneeze.
Boy, you never have a baby in my toilet.
No, you don't, do you, you lucky boy. So I lost it on the Saturday. I remember like messaging my mum and going, oh my god, what is this? And then googling it and realising what had happened, and I lost even more on the Sunday, but it wasn't bloody tinged or anything like that. So I just carried on with my weekend because I knew I was going to be induced the following day. On Monday I went in for my induction, and it was actually at 9 o'clock at night, which was really late. And I remember thinking, like, this is stupid, why are they taking me in so late? I don't want to go now, and I'm just gonna be sat in there and then I'll have to sit on my own, because obviously I was still with William's dad at the time, and he came in with me at 9 o'clock, and I had a prostaglandin pessary inserted up you know where, which was like a gel, and I was told that I needed to lie down for about an hour to make sure that it actually stayed around my cervix and didn't fall out, and that I would feel some discomfort. And I did feel some discomfort. It made me very achy and kind of a bit stingy and uncomfortable down there. And I remember like being really uncomfortable and kind of wanting to go to the toilet and get it out, in all honesty. But I stayed put, and then we were encouraged to go for a walk. So once we were released to go to a walk, we went for a walk for about an hour and nothing really happened. And then by that point the unit was closed, the midwifery unit was closed, like labour and delivery ward. So I was then on my own. So I got ready for bed in my little cubicle, and I was the only lady on the ward, and it was very quiet. So I did manage to get some sleep. I was told that I was gonna get a second dose of the gel around 4 o'clock in the morning, and someone would come and wake me up. So I actually set an alarm before that because I wanted to go to the shower and freshen up, because I didn't like the idea of anyone going down there unless I was like as fresh as a daisy, do you know what I mean? So I did that, and then no one came, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether or not I should like pull a cord or press a button or go and find someone. So I just waited around until about 6 o'clock, and I remember messaging my mum and going, I'm useless, my body's failed, nothing's worked, and they haven't come and seen me, and being really dramatic. And then I realised, actually, I feel really uncomfortable and achy. So I thought, I'll go to the toilet, maybe it's like gas pains or something. And it was then I noticed that I had a bloody show, and there was a lot of it. So my mucus plug came away again with lots of blood attached to it this time. So I told the midwife, and I realised then that was actually really uncomfortable. So she offered me some paracetamol, and I took it. And then she said, you might as well ask your family members if they'd like to come and be with you so you're not on your own. And that's what happened. And I found really that I loved labouring on my feet the most. I loved walking around and staying mobile. That really worked for me and helped with the pressure. Sitting down and lying down was really uncomfortable. I started finding it a little bit harder to deal with, and I was offered a bath because I couldn't have a water birth that time around because my BMI was too high, because I was considerably, you're getting down, considerably heavier than I am now. So I said, yeah, actually I'd love a bath. So I got in this bath, and it turned out that this bath was like for borrowers, you know, there's tiny people, because it was so small. And I remember sitting in it like a child in like a bucket, and it was so uncomfortable. And I remember sitting there for about 10 minutes and then going, oh no, I need to get out, this is really, really uncomfortable. So I got out and kept walking around, and then my midwife checked me and she says, you know what, I think I'm going to break your waters, because it was about 3 centimetres by this point. So she stuck what looked like a knitting needle, and that's the only way I can describe it, up my bits and broke my waters. And I remember just going, oh, gross. And then it really amped up, and I was then allowed to be moved into my own room. And it was there that, well, after that it just went really, really quickly, because I remember kneeling over the bed on the floor, leaning over the bed, and being violently sick after having some blue Powerade and gas and air. The combination of the two made me so sick that then I rendered gas and air useless, and I didn't want it anywhere near me. So then I started kind of doing this really weird guttural grunting, and my mum was like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I don't feel very well, I need more drugs, give me the drugs. And she tried to speak for me to the midwife, because I was really losing the ability to talk at that point. And then the midwife was like, oh, I can't really give you anything yet, Charlotte, you know, you're still in early labour, and you know, just try and keep going, keep breathing through it. And then I started grunting and making a noise like I was like pushing, and the midwife said, Charlotte, are you trying to push? And I was like, I think so. And she got me on the bed, and she didn't even have time to put gloves on, and then she realised that I was already 10 centimetres. So something happened when my waters were broken, and that sent me off like a shot, and that was it. I was ready to give birth to my baby. I actually did end up pushing for quite a while, and that was due to, and this is a bit TMI, but I was told that I had very strong muscles down there. And every time I was pushing, I would get him just about to crown, and then my contraction would end, and my muscles would like force him back up because they were tight. And it's so awkward talking about this. And in the end, I had the health consultant come down to come and check me, because my blood pressure was going sky high and his heart rate was going down, and she was like, oh, we're gonna have to stretch her. So she inserted 2 fingers in like this, opened them out, and then stretched, and that was horrible. It was mid-contraction. I wanted to kill her, but it worked because after a few more contractions and pushing, I remember crowning and just going, ow, 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 ow. And it was so sore. It was really, really stingy, and it is that ring of fire. It literally feels like someone's poured gasoline on your bits and set it alight. And you can just feel every stretch. But before I knew it, his head was out. And then another contraction later, his shoulders were out, and then my little boy was born. And now he's sat next to me, and he is nearly 4 years old, and he's about to become a big brother, and he's the best thing that ever happened to me. And he always will be, I think. But yeah, that's his birth story. I don't know what's going to happen next time around. I don't know if it's going to be better, worse, the same, different, but I wanted to document it because, you know, my memories go in slightly. The older I get and the older he gets, I'm making space for more new memories, and I thought it would be nice to get this down and show, you know, how quickly things change. Like, once upon a time I was giving birth to like this little baby that I'd never met, and now he's my pride and joy, and he sat right next to me. Yes, I'm talking about you. So yeah, that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions, by the way, about Bill's birth, or about like what my plans are this next time around, then please feel free to ask them down below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. This was then, and this is now. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Bye.